The Job, written by Sister Terry Rowans, narrated by Sister Natalie Shaver. On June 19th of this year, I was sent an email from my director at work inviting me to a Zoom meeting that afternoon. When the meeting started, I had no idea the impact it would have on my life. After 34 years of employment with the same healthcare organization in a human resources role, I was informed that my position was being eliminated. I had 90 days to find a new job. As I heard these words, I felt my world crashing around me. I felt like a failure and a complete disappointment to my family. After things settled in my head, I began to watch God unfold His plan for me. With GMBA campout 2 weeks away, I got ready, knowing I would go and share this with my brothers and sisters and have an army praying for me. I knew I would draw strength from them. I started to notice how the Lord was already working on this situation before it even happened. He revealed to me things that my husband Joe and I had done unknowingly that prepared us. At camp, I shared with my seminar class that I wanted the Lord to do His work so this testimony could be witnessed by Joe. During the class, a sister was prompted to have us join a group chat so we could continue encouraging one another. When we returned home from camp, I readied myself to start the daunting task of job hunting. I never had a resume, so I put one together, and one Friday afternoon, I sent it to a few places. One posting in particular was for a job close to home and doing exactly what I was doing in my last role. I prayed countless prayers saying, "Lord, please use me as an example to Joe so he can see what prayer can do, and that when we place things in God's hands, He will provide." On Monday, I saw an odd email with the subject line, "We've been trying to reach you," and realized it was from the employer that I sent my resume to on Friday, the one I prayed about. I immediately responded, but the email kicked back with an insufficient email address alert. I was confused and thought something was wrong with my laptop. I tried to respond on my phone, but got the same message. There was no contact information in the email. I was baffled. I thought, "Oh no, Satan, you're not winning this one." I contacted the HR department of that healthcare facility, and they gave me the number of the woman who sent the email. I contacted her, explained what happened, and she replied, "Oh, that is an auto-generated email that I thought was discontinued." Right there, I knew God had His hand in this. We set up a phone interview for the next day. I was so nervous. I hadn't interviewed for a job since I was 18. I prayed while waiting for her call that the Lord would give me the right words. Then she called, and before I knew it, we were talking as if we had known each other for years. She said she was going to push me to the next level in the process, and we set up another interview for Thursday. A virtual one, as the HR manager was based in Ohio. The next day, I received a call that the HR manager was actually going to be on site if I wanted to meet in person. I, of course, accepted and asked my seminar group to pray. On the morning of the interview, I arrived a few minutes early and poured my heart out to the Lord that He would guide me and steady my nerves. I texted my prayer warriors one more time, wanting to be sure that the Lord would go before me. When I walked into the interview, the HR manager greeted me. Her name was Terry, and I instantly felt comfortable talking with her. She shared where she was from in Ohio, and I told her I know many people in Ohio due to my church. By the time we were done, we had spent an hour and 45 minutes talking. The interview was only slated for an hour. I couldn't thank God enough for the calmness He gave me. I left knowing He guided every step. Then the dreaded waiting. A week after the interview, I hadn't heard anything and started to feel discouraged. I sent a message to the group chat. Brother Frank Natoli, one of our seminar leaders, responded saying, "His promises are sure. Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns. Yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are you not much better than they?" Matthew 6:26. This encouraged me so much. I also received a call from one of my closest friends from church who reminded me, "Has He ever left you? Has He ever forgotten you? Has He always provided for you? Do you really think He would leave you now?" I couldn't thank her enough for giving me that spiritual wake-up call. And oh, how God works. Not an hour after we hung up the phone, I received a call from the recruiter saying I was still in the running and they were just waiting on approval to make offers. On Monday, August 14th, I was offered the job. God is truly so good, and I can never thank Him enough for answering my prayers and continuing to provide for me and my family. Once again, God truly showed me that He is always in control.